It's Tim Paul from Around the Piano podcast. You know, before we get too deep into today's chaos, let me shout out the people who make all this sound way better than it probably should. It's 216 Creative Studios. Listen, if your podcast sounds like it was recorded in a wind tunnel, or your video looks like it was filmed on a flip phone from 2007, stop everything you're doing and call these folks. They've got mics so clean you'll hear every sip of coffee, every awkward pause, and every guest who forgets they're being recorded. So whether you're starting a new show, shooting content, or just need somewhere to feel creative without your cat walking across the keyboard, 216 Creative Studios, they've got your back. So quit trying to DIY your dreams on your couch. Get in the studio where the magic happens. That's 216 Creative Studios, where your ideas sound like you actually meant to say that.
Howdy, thrill seekers. Scott Page here. Some of you remember me from Pink Floyd. I'm here at Around the Piano at 216 Studio. So check us out, right? Come on.
Welcome back, everybody, to another excellent episode of Around the Piano with Tim Paul. But first, listen, if you like what you see here, make sure to go to the old Google box on YouTube, 216 Creator Studios. Like, share, subscribe, ding that bell for the future notifications. Always appreciating the support. Mr. Tim Paul, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you doing, Mr. Cappuccino?
Hey, you know, it's a lot of work going on here at the studio.
It's been busy, right?
I'm starting to realize my age a little bit, where I'm just tired all the time.
Yeah, you're older than I am now.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. However, I can't tell you the experience of writing in on the pterodactyl. However, you probably could.
I probably could.
Every time I'm near you, I feel young. That's all I can really say. I'm just kidding. You know, listen, we're prepping for NAMM. And there's going to be a lot of great interviews, maybe even a couple live sessions this round out on the patio there. What are some of the things that you're looking forward to with NAMM, Tim?
I think a lot of the things are some of the, not only the things that we do every year, but some of the new things that we do, because we've got so many friends that are going to come up and join us on our lanai deck, you know, and I think I'm really looking forward to getting people together that may see each other at the show and they may perform at the show, but now we're going to have them all in one place and we might have a little jam session.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun. It's going to be more like a party.
The old mix and mingle of some artists that don't even know each other and seeing what we could do about, you know, collaborating and stuff. And you could, you know, you could tell the class of people between me and you. I say patio, you say lanai.
That's true, right?
I lower property value when I'm on site.
That's because I've ridden the pterodactyl and you have not.
It's going to be a great show today. You know, why don't we bring in our guest? We're really excited about this one.
Oh, this is wonderful. I've known Mr. Mike Sherman for many years. Many years. Yeah, we go back a long way, and we're going to talk about. We actually shared a radio show a while back. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
We did. Yeah, that's right. That was a way back itself. Yeah.
So Mike Sherman, Felix and Fingers fame, dueling piano companies. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background, yourself, and where Felix and Fingers is today?
Sure. That sounds great. Well, thanks so much for having me on. I'm really excited to be here and just to see everything you guys are doing here. And yeah, really excited.
Yeah, we're glad you're here.
Yeah. Like you said, Mike Sherman. I play piano and I sing and I work mostly for Felix and Fingers Dueling Pianos, which is, I think, even how we initially started knowing each other, however many years ago. And I mean, just kind of my general background is I always was into music. I was always into entertaining. You know, I used to do a lot of theater, studied theater in college. I went to Loyola University. Just always loved entertaining people, loved making people laugh. You know, always just was never really sure where my life would take me in that direction. And just, I used to have just a boring day job that I hated, and would just occasionally do some theater stuff, would play some piano here and there.
Sure.
And then I just decided I didn't want to do that anymore. So I just kind of quit my job and was like, let me try and be a musician for a little bit. And I inevitably met up with our friend Mike Potts, who owns Felix and Fingers, through, and this is going to age me, I feel like, but on a Craigslist ad, which on a Craigslist ad, met him, and he was just looking, he had his original partner, Dave Radford, and the two of them just had this little dueling pianos company that they would just, do their thing, and little, two guys just having fun, doing a lot of weddings, stuff like that. Dave was getting married, and they needed somebody to just cover for him when he was getting married, and they weren't really in the industry. They didn't know anybody. I was barely in the industry. I had just started playing some piano bar shows, just kind of for fun, to make some extra cash on the side, which also I may have found on Craigslist. This first bar I used to play at. Yeah, they used to be the place to look for work.
A lot on Craigslist.
A lot on Craigslist. And so I just been playing these bars. Was making a little bit of money. It was, nothing fine. I was still, supplementing with other stuff. I was doing some teaching, I used to teach theater classes, stuff like that. And then, I got hooked up with Felix and Fingers, started playing a couple gigs. And then I think at that point is when Mike Potts saw like the dollar signs in his eyeballs. And he was like, wait, like we don't have to do just dueling pianos with two people here. Like we could have a third person and a fourth person. And, since then it's grown into, we're a national company now. We have performers all over, I guess I could technically say the world, because we have people in Canada and Hawaii. So, it's not even the
part of the world.
Yeah, right. It's like we're an international dueling pianos company. And we like there's some weekends where we might have 50 gigs going on around the States,
That's quite amazing how much it's grown in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
And being there from the beginning is interesting. In fact, I know at first you weren't making enough money doing Felix and Fingers, so you actually taught piano in our store.
I did. I came for a little for a few months. I was in here teaching some piano, some voice lessons.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that was probably the last time. I mean, I think I've been over here a couple of times since then, but even just pulling into the parking lot over here, I was like, oh, this is deja vu. Just pulling up and grabbing a coffee and going to teach some 8-year-olds to play Taylor Swift on the piano.
Exactly. And what Mike's not telling you is that those were the happiest days of his life.
They were. I've every day since then has been downhill.
I understand that.
Because at Piano Trends, everything is fun,
more fun,
and even
more fun. Yeah, it's a true story. Everybody has always said that. Well, I have.
I have said that everyone always says that. So
exactly. So it's come to pass.
Gummies are a wonderful thing, Tim.
They really are, among other things. Yeah. But no, that was fun. And I remember because Mike credits me as being the father of Felix and Fingers.
He does.
Because and you played down at the Chill event.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A couple of times.
Yeah.
But the very first time we get down to the Chill event, it's 20 minutes before our players are supposed to start. We've got 6 grand pianos there. We've got all the musicians ready to go. And Blair Loftspring, who ran that for many years, we did that for 15, 16 years. She comes over and she says, we have a request. Do you have anybody who could do like a dueling piano thing? Sure. So Mike, and then David was there. He was gonna play piano that night too. And said, you two are together. And so then they did their dueling piano thing. And it was mostly Mike playing piano and David singing.
Yeah.
And I'm regressing. I just remember that night, Mike also played accordion at the restaurant. Were you there for that?
I don't know if I was. I don't know. I've definitely seen him play accordion a couple of times.
I've got a video of it. There's a lot of let's say he was having a good time at the restaurant afterwards. We took everything out afterwards. But,
Nice.
I'll send you that link.
You
can use it.
I will use it for
can
sure.
use it for
I
sure.
will use it. I have many uses for it.
But anyway, back on the farm, we had a great time, and that was that. It's shortly after that, like you said, you told everybody how he needed a replacement for David for one show, and the rest is history. You've been there ever since.
The rest is history. I mean, it's like really, I felt like it was within a couple of months that I was almost not even looking at working for other companies or anything. And I've been pretty much exclusive with Felix and Fingers ever since then. A lot of people freelance and just work for, other companies here and there, but I could probably count on 2 hands the number of gigs I've done in the last 15 years that we're not Felix and Fingers.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like if I have a Friday night off, I'm just enjoying the night off. I'm not like, oh, I got to hustle and find something. Like, let's just enjoy an occasional Friday off. Love that.
Excellent.
Mhm.
You know what? For people who don't know what Felix and Fingers experience is, tell them what a typical Felix and Fingers show consists of, and kind of behind the scenes. There's always two of you.
Yep.
You've always got usually digital pianos.
Yep. Mhm.
And so tell us how that works.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, yeah, we do all types of events. I mean, we definitely got started mostly in the wedding industry. And I mean, I've probably done, no exaggeration, probably 1,000 weddings at this point in the last maybe 12, 13 years. And now we also do a ton of corporate stuff, fundraisers. So a lot of different types of shows. But I mean, the way the shows work is effectively the same. I mean, I have like a little mid-size SUV. It's not even that big. And the whole show fits in the back. We play on electric keyboards. We use like Yamaha Mo XF8s or MX88s for the most part. And then we have our piano shells, which are basically, for those of you who don't know, they're basically like, it's like a little wooden table almost, but it looks like a piano, and you set your keyboard inside it, and then it just has the effect of being a little bit nicer. And I always say it's kind of close enough for drunk people to not be able to tell the difference.
It's aesthetically pleasing.
It's very aesthetically pleasing. And I also get shocked sometimes after the shows, people come up and they're like, that's not a real piano, which is always very surprising to me, because during all of our songs, one of us is playing piano, the other one is playing the drums on the keyboard. We actually have like in the system, so you're playing like the bass drum and like playing, and it's kind of a fun skill to be able to do. But then I'm always surprised at the end of the show when they're like, that's not real. And you're like, were you listening to the drums all night? Do you know? Was that just magic how that was coming out? But we show up, we bring full sound system with us, full lights, everything in there, show up to wherever we're going, unload, get there plenty early to get all ready to go. And I mean, that's for me, I always like to get there early just because I don't like rushing. I don't like, stressing to get done on time. So it's like plenty of time, get all set up, and then, just, do the event, which be it a wedding, fundraiser, corporate, birthday parties, whatever it happens to be. We just have fun with it. And with me, it's just fun because it's different. Especially for weddings when we do them, it's like most, I've done hundreds of weddings. Most people have never seen it at a wedding before. Right. So for 99% of the people there that night, it's their first experience in this situation, seeing dueling pianos at a wedding. They've probably been to a piano bar, maybe they went to Vegas, or, there's a lot of bars in Chicago where we're in. Sure. And, but it's just that idea in their mind that they're like, we didn't realize this was a thing. And then sometimes they might think you're just going to be up there playing classical music or maybe some jazz. And then like 10 minutes in, you're playing Snoop Dogg and Lady Gaga, and just like the way their eyes like get wide, and they're like, I didn't know this was a thing. It's like, I never get sick of.
Well, they're usually used to having the typical DJ at the weddings, and that's great. And that's usually how that works. But the different experience when you have a dueling piano show.
Oh,
and you guys interact with the audience, as you're not just up there playing song after song after song.
No,
you're interacting with the audience. You're telling jokes. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a minute. You can be thinking about it while we're talking. We're going to need a good dad joke.
I got you covered there. Yeah. Well, we're.
Well, whenever you're ready, just start blurting it out.
Great.
And
No,
we'll do that. And if Drew laughs, then we know it's a good joke.
Sometimes I feel like if no one laughs, I take that as a higher compliment, because it was dumb enough that it didn't get a reaction. That brings me joy.
Bad jokes.
Well, then you're gonna love Nick, because Nick doesn't laugh at any jokes.
Oh, great. Yeah. We're gonna get along just fine.
He laughs at mine.
He just laughs at you. He just laughs at you. No joke involved. I got a question for you. So, the typical, I love your story. There's a bit of a typicalness to it. I worked the corporate job.
Right.
Sat there in a miserable space, but I have all this talent backing me. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go after that. And you did, which is phenomenal. A lot of people have a hard time doing that, breaking that security blanket, right?
Yeah.
To get out there and do that. But you had to start somewhere. What is your story? Who was your mentor? Why did you start doing what you do in this musical?
Yeah. That's a very good question. Let's see. I'd say like the people that really got me into this kind of in the first place. And again, it's just all these like weird little things that kind of pointed me in the direction of where I ended up. I never had like somebody that was like, you're going to be a dueling piano player. Right. I hadn't even really heard of dueling pianos till I was in my 20s. Right. I just, found this ad on Craigslist. So like sing songs. And I was like, oh, I always loved just listening to the radio. And I could just, music theory just made a lot of sense to me. I could just, hear a song and kind of put the chords together. That was always easy for me. Mm-hmm. I probably didn't even realize that was like a talent that I had. I just was like, it's just how my brain works, whatever, not realizing it's a skill. But yeah, I mean, definitely like in high school, like I started this really great, my music teacher in high school was this really great jazz guy named Kevin Engel. He's a sax player out of Cincinnati, played with like all these great guys. I'd never heard of any of them. I'm still so outside the world of jazz. Anyone that knew jazz probably knew all these people, he would say, but he was just, he literally started at my high school right when I started. And so we became pretty good friends when I worked there, when I, just getting through and just kind of instilling this love of music and that music can be fun. And that to me is always what it is. Cause I only do this because it's fun. And just, just the idea of just when I got into jazz, I used to play jazz trombone too. That was kind of my original instrument.
I remember.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And just the idea of just like screwing around, like they're all playing and you're just like I was always scared to take like a jazz solo because I was like, oh, I'm intimidated, I don't know what to do.
Right.
And he would just be like, just shut up and just do it. And then I just started doing it, and then that's when I was like, nobody, like, you don't have to care about what people are thinking of you when they're looking at you. You're just having fun up there, you're just making something up, you're goofing off.
Right.
It's kind of how I look at the way I perform now. It's like,
Freestyling.
yeah, it's like I always say, like if I play like Brown Eyed Girl, which I've played thousands of times in my life, never one time have I played it the same. I always do something different. I always make it up. I'm always talking to the audience or messing with the music a little bit or just throwing jokes in there. So I think it's just this idea that was instilled in me that like, it really doesn't matter what people think. It's like, you're just doing it to have fun and hopefully you entertain everybody. And I think I do a pretty good job of that too. But it's just, this idea that, who cares? There's also, we sing so many songs and you memorize some, you don't memorize some. I usually have my phone on the stage with me and I'll pull up lyrics to a song or something.
Sure.
But I used to get like really in my head about like messing up the words to a song. And then like, you're just like, nobody cares.
Nobody remembers.
They're just having fun. They're singing along. They don't know the words to the song probably.
It's more fun to use different words and mix them up and see if anybody notices.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, that was my high school band teacher, Kevin. And then also, I guess probably my high school theater teacher, Michelle Mascry, who directed the shows at my high school. I went to St. Xavier High School in Cincinnati, Ohio. And she kind of, I want to say she sort of discovered me because I was always just like a band nerd. I didn't really, and I would sing, I was in like the Cincinnati Boys Choir when I was like in 6th grade, it's like I enjoyed it, but I never kind of saw that. And so then when I got on that and I started kind of auditioning and I was like, oh, I'm like pretty good at being on stage and like performing for an audience and that kind of thing. And so then that's what, even though music was always much more natural to me, theater is where I like kind of got the, I don't know, I don't want to say the ego, but it's like I really liked the idea of
confidence.
Confidence. Yeah, we'll call it confidence.
Yeah, confidence.
I just really like the idea that I could make people laugh and that I could make people cry, that like you could do something to affect somebody in a positive way. Which again is still why I do this, because I think about like, am I changing the world? Like, why aren't I a doctor? Why aren't I something, why aren't I saving lives? But then I'm like, no, like I'm giving people joy. I'm giving people happiness. I'm giving people memories. That's one of our kind of our mottos at Felix and Fingers is positively creating positive lasting memories, obsessively creating positive lasting memories. I had to get it right in case Mike Potts is listening.
Well, and he won't. He doesn't pay any attention.
Obsessively creating positive lasting memories. And that's what I just love that idea. That,
part of the memories that you guys do, I know that after every wedding, you present the bride and the groom with a Freddie.
We do.
Yeah. So tell everybody what a Freddie is.
So a Freddie, I was like, do you have one here? I was like,
I should, we do have a Freddie here somewhere. Don't
it's like I feel like anywhere I go that Mike Potts is even like remotely touched, there's a Freddie. No, Freddie is this little, it's basically this little wire frame. There's other instruments. I think you even used to sell some of these things.
In fact, Mike got his Freddie's from us.
Oh yeah, originally.
Then
we started.
Then he goes direct.
Right. It was like we're going to start mass producing. Exactly.
Produced.
Yeah, this little wire framed like little figurine of just somebody sitting at a piano.
Yeah.
And that's Freddie, our little mascot.
Yeah.
So every time we do a wedding, we always try and send the bride and groom. We used to bring them with us. That started to get too complicated because we started to need too many. So now we send them out to them after the wedding. But yeah,
which is nice. And here we go. We actually Cappuccino's got a Freddie for us.
We do have a Freddie right there. I don't know if that's on the camera. There's a little Freddie dude right there. I have one. The one that I have at home, actually, I don't know where it is right now. I got to find it, but it's, I maybe remember I broke my ankle like about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And which is also, and actually, let me come back to that in a second because there's a funny story out of that. But I broke my ankle and so I had to get out of some gigs for for like a couple of months. And so Mike had brought me one of these over and he put a little cast on the leg. So I have this one just sitting in my house somewhere with just this little Freddie with a little cast on it. So here, we'll put it right there.
Well, it probably cheered you up.
It did. It did. But no, we joke that me, because I was working so much for Felix and Fingers, that I had to call my boss and say, hey, I'm in the hospital, I dislocated my ankle, I'm probably not going to be able to do gigs for at least 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And so that is kind of what spurred, in my opinion, sort of the bigger expansion of Felix and Fingers. Because like I was on gigs every day. They had to like pull out a bunch of people.
Right.
And then it's like, I feel like a year later, instead of us having like this kind of 4 to 6 person group, like we had added like 4 new people to our roster. And so a lot of people joke that me breaking my ankle was, several people that work for us, like why they have jobs. Like,
well, that's true. You need redundancy, man. It's a business, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you definitely spurred that, or at least you were able to go back and they're like, well, we didn't replace you.
Exactly. No, I had several gigs that I did where I had my boot on. I was highly medicated. Like I was like, they're like, we just need you. And I'm like, well, that's fine. I think we hired somebody to help load in. I was like, I'm not carrying stuff, but I'll sit there behind a piano
and play and sing. And
yep.
I'll eat all my drugs and play a piano.
Exactly. I'm just in such a good mood today. I don't know what it is.
You should have written songs during that time.
I know. I really should have. I really should have. But yeah. So that was it's all, my broken ankle may have, created Felix and Fingers in a small way.
It did, well, it expanded them for sure.
It certainly did.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's really like the bad
awesome.
things that happen really can, because then when COVID hit, it's like we were all like panicking. We're all of our gigs were canceling. It's like, cool, we might not. And so we're like, well,
found a way to do it.
What do we do? And so we spent all of COVID networking, reaching out to venues, becoming friends, like developing these like account lists that we work with. And then by the time COVID ended, like we were stronger than ever. And while other people were kind of trying to like dig out of this hole, they've been just kind of sitting back. Like we had started to kind of dominate the marketplace as far as dueling pianos goes and entertainment.
And I think you guys pretty much invented the dueling piano virtual show.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there were certainly some people doing some streaming during COVID, but
is there a competition in business on this? I mean,
there are other dueling
market, which is really cool because it's such a unique niche style business. And so in any business, regardless, you have usually a list of goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you want to hit. What do you see yourself personally and professionally doing in the next 5 years?
Sure. I mean, definitely, kind of doing what I'm doing now and just expanding it in a lot more. One project I've been working on for a little while that is taking longer to get going than I want is I have this sort of specific show that we do with Felix and Fingers. It's with myself and my partner Robert, who we work with together. We have this show we call it Pianomonium, and it's more like a theater type event where you book us and they just sell tickets, and it's just us up on stage goofing off and singing songs in just like a little bit more of a stylized way. And he kind of has a similar theater background to me, so we're both very engaging and outgoing on stage, and we also just like argue like we're siblings up there, and it's just and that's the type of show that like when I do that kind of show, I'm like, oh, this. Like this brings me more joy than, it's like I love doing weddings. I love doing all that. I'm very happy with everything. But then, when I get off stage, when just sitting there at, an audience of 2,000 people just like cracking up at you and just singing along, it's just like nothing makes me feel like higher than that, truly. So, so that's a cool thing where we've gotten some promo stuff for it. I just was at a showcase a couple weeks ago in Milwaukee to kind of promote it a little bit. And so like really trying to build some more of that. So that's kind of my big project in that. But then also I do sales for Felix and Fingers. And I'm always, just networking, and sales for us, it's like we do a lot of what we call generated outreach. We certainly pay for a lot of advertising and, we get Google leads and Facebook leads and, we do all the stuff we're supposed to do. But that's not really kind of our goal. Our goal is for us to be, the best friend of every venue out there, any wedding planner, that when someone says we want something awesome for our event, that they're going to think, oh, you need to talk to, Felix and Fingers. And that's kind of our big thing, which also, like, speaking of all the kind of competition out there, there are a lot of dueling piano companies out there. We sort of have always been like the wedding specialists. And now I've like really started to do a lot more of the corporate and I've been doing fundraisers for years, where some of the other companies do a lot more of the bar type shows, that sort of thing.
Sure.
But it's kind of like when you look at us from the outside, I think people see us as this kind of bigger, this company that's grown and grown and grown so quickly. And I think people do see it as competition, but we're not trying to like be the best. We're not trying to like outbid or do better than any other dueling pianos companies. We're trying to generate new business where there would not have been dueling pianos before. It's
You've
like
got more tentacles out there in the world than some of the other companies.
You're going outside the box of the norm.
Yeah, we're trying to create gigs for musicians that would not have existed in the first place. Where it's like maybe they were going to hire, a DJ, or maybe they were not going to have entertainment or something, and they're like, oh, like dueling pianos, that sounds fun. Like that. Those are the kind of leads and
Sure.
contracts that we're trying to generate. That's something that may not have existed before, and that's cool too. Just knowing that as a
it's
musician,
very cool.
yeah.
I think that's an awesome thing that you guys are doing something like that, because as a musician, if you put all of your eggs into one basket, you're going to struggle more than likely, unless you hit the big time. And the very few do. It's like very few people play in the Major League Baseball too. You've got to have you have to have your eggs in different baskets. And Felix and Fingers Company does that.
Yeah.
And individually, you do it as well.
Yeah. Well, and I used to do it a lot more. I mean, just being in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
And like, to be clear, like if people tell me they want to be in music or in theater or anything like this, like I will try and talk them out of it, because it's like, it's going to be hard. I feel very lucky and fortunate that I was able to make it, because for every one of me, there's 20 people that probably worked as hard as me, or maybe as talented as me, and did not have that same kind of success.
Right.
So I just think it's really important to, just to appreciate everything that I've been doing. But then, it's like I put my, I was doing theater, I was doing some jazz gigs, I would get hired to sing or go to a recording studio or something, just like all these little gigs. And it's hard. It's a stressful life, because it's like, you don't really have the security. It's like, you just like work into that next gig, hustling to try and find that next gig. But this was one of the eggs that I had put in my basket, was like starting to do this piano bar stuff. And then it just turned into my career,
So how many people told you don't do this?
A lot of people,
right?
because
Right. And that's how musicians make it. If you quit when somebody tells you to quit, you shouldn't be in the business.
Yep.
But if you keep going, despite people telling you to quit, you got a chance to make it.
Yep. 100%.
So, absolutely.
Yeah,
so dad joke, it's time.
All right. Dad jokes. Okay. I was on my way here. I anticipated this.
Okay.
Let me see if I was trying to think of some of my well, I used to, over COVID, I do it a little bit now. I have a TikTok channel, as you know, that I would post jokes. Some of them are kind of straight up dad jokes. I also love telling jokes that are kind of like stories, and just like kind of put my own personality into them. So I did a lot of that over COVID, just to pass the time, on my TikTok channel. But I was trying to think of some of my Halloween ones, because we got Halloween coming up here, and I got some terrible ones here. So
that's great.
Let me think. I dressed up like a screwdriver for a Halloween party the other day. It wasn't the best costume, but it turned a lot of heads. There we go.
I love it.
See, my other Halloween one I like is, okay, so I went to a party, and there was this guy there, and he was walking around, and he had this girl just on his back, like on his shoulders. And he was like walking around and just having drinks and, whatever. And I was like trying to figure out all night, what is this guy's costume? And so I finally go up to him. I'm like, hey dude, what are you dressed as? And he said, I'm a turtle. I said, oh, well, who's that on your back? And he said, oh, that's Michelle.
Oh my.
Oh. Yeah.
There's a couple of Halloween jokes for you.
I like that. And Nick liked it because he didn't laugh.
I know. I got an eye roll.
He got an eye roll.
I got an eye roll, which, like, if somebody doesn't laugh, I take that as a compliment.
Too soon. Too soon.
Too soon. Well, that gives me an idea for what we'll be playing on Lifting Spirits later.
Yeah.
That Halloween song, that famous Beatles Halloween song, Michelle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll be working on that.
Oh yeah, and just when you're working on it, you just think the whole time it's just a joke.
It's just a joke. It's a
punchline.
It is. It's true. So we had fun several years ago. I don't remember what year it was, but you, Bobby, and I.
Yep.
We did a radio show in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why we did a Mr. Fix-It-Home Fixer-Upper show. But Lou Manfredini invited us on to do his show, and we did the intro and outro music to every commercial.
Yeah, that's right.
Christmas show.
It's the local holiday tunes, right?
Yeah. And you did most of it, and then I remember I did Santa Baby.
Yeah, I was like, you had a song that I know it was like one of your specialties, and but Santa Baby, that's it.
And that was it. But that was a blast that day.
In
the studio, we here they're talking about holiday fix-it-ups at the house and things like that. And Mike and Bobby and I were there, and we had did we bring a keyboard, or did they? I can't remember if we brought it.
I don't remember bringing one, but it also would be weird to think that they just had a keyboard in there in that particular
WGN
studio.
Radio would have access to
maybe they brought it in or something, right? Exactly.
So it was kind of cool. Every time it was a break for a commercial, they would break out with us playing a few seconds.
Play a little something, just I'm a little hot Christmas book with me or something, and then Yeah, no, it's fine. I still think to this day, because I forget what it was, but I mean, I think his I think his show is like, I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but it was like, I think it's like 2 million people would like, I mean, it was some massive number of people. And I, to this day, I was like, that's definitely the most people that have ever listened to me. And, you know, maybe all my other gigs combined did not equal that. That must have been, it could have been like 2018. I mean, it was pre-COVID for sure.
Pre-COVID for sure. But yeah, that was fun. The worst part was getting there and finding a place to park down there. But that was fun. We had a good time down there.
Yeah, well, I'm an expert at that now, parking downtown.
Yeah, like I bet you are.
Yeah, we joke a lot of times. And we're like, even though Chicago is so much closer, it's like sometimes I'd rather do a wedding or something in like Madison, Wisconsin, than just go downtown on a Friday and park. And I'm like, it ends up taking about the same amount of time as just like a 2-hour drive out of town.
It's true. Yeah, right. It's very true. Yeah, or just take the train because there you can put your keyboard on your back.
I've never yet done that. I've never trained it with a keyboard.
Yeah,
but
probably not. Probably not a good idea. Well, what's coming up in the future this holiday season? How many gigs you got going for this holiday?
You know, I don't even look at my schedule until the Sunday before. It's just like it's been a little slower. I mean, not like slower. It's been very normal the last couple like month or so, you know, and now it's like really kind of buckling into holiday season. And once December hits, it's just like insanity.
Well, knowing the quality that they push out, I'm pretty sure they're going to be playing one of the biggest events here at Crystal Lake is the holiday mashup.
Just going to bring that up. Excellent. Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Tell Mike about our holiday mashup.
Yeah. So we have a show here called Let's Talk Local, and what we do for free is we interview local businesses to help drop that rock in the pond for gaining awareness for their organizations and telling their stories. We love stories, right? And so between Around the Piano and Let's Talk Local, we do a holiday mashup. You come in as a musician. We do a record of you playing and singing some Christmas music. And then the next scene would be us interviewing somebody on their business location, building our own Christmas special, basically.
That's awesome.
Is what it is. So we love to give back to the community and showcase people for their talent as well as what they do for a living, you know, and why they do it. So that's kind of like what we put together. This is our third year. It went from devastation in the beginning.
Yeah, that
very first one was a live stream.
Yeah, we're going to delete that one completely.
No, you know what? It shows progress, right? It shows, you know, where you've gotten to. It was at his store. The internet bandwidth was crashing on it. There was so much going on. And at the end, it was a shit show. But, you know, people had fun with it. And then our second one we did was a little bit better. And the third one we did was a little bit better. This one will be even way better. Yeah. So, fun, you know, as we've grown out of a hobby space into a business ourselves. So it's one of those things where we ask talented people such as yourself that, hey, if you don't mind donating some time, come in. It'd be good because we try to give whatever, if anybody sponsors it, we give that to kids in need or, you know, the veterans or something in that fashion.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
In fact, this might be a good time for a reunion of Mike and Mike.
It could be.
It could be just for a couple of Christmas tunes.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know if he remembers how to play piano. I think as I was telling you before the show, but he could practice a little bit.
Well, you know what? And we gave him lessons when he was a little boy. That's how we learned to play piano at piano.
I'm gonna sign him up for some piano lessons at Piano Track
with Bobby.
There we go. Right, exactly.
Bobby will come in.
His birthday's coming up. That could be his gift.
That could be a gift.
We pay for that too. We pay in donuts and hot chocolate.
French crullers.
Worth it 100% every time.
60% of the time, all
So
the time.
now, does your son play piano? Because I know Elliot, Mike's son, is taking lessons with Bobby now.
Oh, great. So Max has been he's been taking drum lessons actually. He's been doing lessons at the School of Rock in Barrington where we live, and he's been doing drum lessons. Then he's in like a little band that they put together there, and it's very cool. And he loves to sing too. I mean, he's done like one of the proudest dad moments of my life is he and I went on a cruise over the summer, and they had karaoke, and it wasn't like kid karaoke, it was everyone karaoke. They had the family friendly karaoke though, so everyone could come. And I was like, "You gonna sing a song?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Really?" I was like, "I would never agree to this if I was 9 years old, you know." He was like, "Right." And so he went up and he sang TNT by AC/DC, like rocking. He was doing oi, like, and everyone's like freaking out and like cheering and clapping on that. I was like, this is good. And then I went up and sang a song and like no one cared, you know. It's like, oh, why did I let him go first? You know,
that's right.
I'm supposed to follow this.
Should have been the closing act.
Exactly. But yeah, so he loves to sing. He's been playing. I've given him a couple, you know, he's done some little piano lessons, and he's been he's recently picking up my guitar a little bit more and just kind of like plucking around. And I'm kind of like a little pressure to be like, I can teach you a few things if you want. So,
well, I know he does dad jokes with you on TikTok.
Oh, he does. He loves. He has one of his favorite T-shirt. He has one that just says "Dad Joke Tester." That's one of the shirts that he wears a lot. Because he's my. I was like, hey, what do you think of this one? And because I'll just make jokes up all the time, and I'll just be like, what's this? And I'll be like, that's pretty good.
I think Max should be one of our guests in the future.
We need an all kid version one.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
we'll get Max and Elliot.
Get Max. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just let them go to town.
Oh yeah, no, and they have fun together too. So
I bet they do. That's so cool. That's cool.
Yeah, but he's been playing the drums a lot, and but it's just cool because he's playing like pop rock music. It's just like kind of fun. Which is like I'll come. He's like, oh, we learned this song by Green Day, or I'll come home and he'll be like, Dada. He still calls me Dada, which I'm gonna let. He can call me Dada when he's 20 if he wants. I don't care.
Cool,
absolutely.
He's like, Dada, have you heard of the band The Foo Fighters? I'm like, yeah, I've heard of the band The Foo Fighters. Like, yeah, let's get into it. Come on.
And it's funny. When Stranger Things came out, I think when they played Metallica on Stranger Things, all of a sudden that started trending through the new generation of kids. And my kid came up to me and was like, there's this band. I don't know if you ever heard of them. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They're like, it's a classic.
Right.
I'm like, stop saying that.
Right.
It was from the 1900s.
They're kind
stop saying that.
They're kind of oldies, but it's like, right. I had a wedding the other day, and one of the notes for the songs the groom liked was he likes oldies. And I was like, I don't even know what that means anymore. Like, are the 90s oldies now? Like, when I was in the 90s, like the 60s were oldies.
Just turn on the oldies radio station in your car, and you'll find out.
I don't want to find out.
Right, it's scary.
I don't want to find out.
When I was in the 60s, they were still oldies.
They were playing Creed.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah. I do love the emergence of what they call the dad rock, which is like that Creed, Nickelback. Like it's kind of had this kind of uptick in the last couple of years. We've been doing a lot more of it at weddings, even, and just like getting everyone singing. And I was like, I'm just going to allow this dad rock thing not to bother me. But we'll call it dad rock.
That's so cool.
Well, so what did your parents listen to?
Kind of like, I'm trying to think. Like my mom she used to listen to like Christian music, so that was a lot of what I listened to. But definitely, like contemporary stuff, like lighter stuff, it's like I definitely developed my own taste in music kind of on my own. Like I wouldn't say, I don't know. I guess my dad though, like he's really like Aerosmith, and they were definitely kind of an influence on me. So my dad definitely had some more like rock influences that he would grow up to. But I just remember I always say the worst period of time for me, because like I can play songs from any decade, any genre, you tell me your favorite and I can do it, but my weakest one would be the 2000s, which was when I was in high school and college. I graduated high school in 2003, college 07. But like I don't really listen to music then, because that's when I was sort of developing my own love of music. And that's what, it's like that's when I was discovering like Pink Floyd and though I would say when I was a kid, now that I think about it, the Beatles were big, which are still, massive influence on every musician that ever lived. Yeah. And then I know my dad's family particularly was really into Jimmy Buffett. So like I remember having a lot of Jimmy Buffett. Yeah. So yeah.
How many times have you played Margaritaville now?
Oh, I don't want to think about it. I mean, I made this joke a lot. It's not, it's a joke, but it's a darker joke. Just after Jimmy Buffett died, I was mostly excited that like suddenly people were asking for songs that weren't just Margaritaville. I was like, oh, do you know this? And I was like, I do. No one ever wants this. People just want Margaritaville all the time. And similarly when Prince died, I don't know a ton of Prince. Right. I was like, oh crap. Like I got to learn some Prince. And David Bowie too. I was like, oh. And they both died like right around the same time.
They did.
I was like, I got to bust out some Prince and David Bowie. Not two of my specialties.
What about you, Tim? What did your parents listen to?
Let's see. Beethoven was still alive.
Beethoven dropped a new track.
That's right.
He played a hell of a bass guitar.
Roll over Beethoven right after he composed for Elise. He was, I don't know. Back in my day, I don't know. Well, remember this. My parents probably listened to a lot of 40s and 50s.
Were they big into classical?
Well, yeah. My mother was, especially because she was a classical. She was a concert artist and a teacher, so she was huge into classical. Her favorite piece, her signature piece, mine's Santa Baby, but her signature piece was Wedding Day at Trollhauer. And you might not recognize it by the title, but if you play it, you'll go, oh yeah,
Yeah, I've heard that.
yeah,
Sure.
and it sounds like something out of oh, I don't know, out of the Wizard of Oz or what is, yeah,
Sure,
it's just
something
one of
theater.
those, yeah, theater-ish,
Right.
yeah. So yeah, that was their influence. My dad, he liked listening to I think he liked listening mostly to 40s and 50s type. And you know, which at the time those songs were 10 years old, you know, so
Yeah.
those were the oldies,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. And during my coming of age years, which would have been the 70s, I really liked 60s music. So
Yeah.
I was always into it. I don't know, maybe it was because I only had to learn 4 chords.
Right.
You know, and sometimes just 3.
Yeah.
And half the time just 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say two is not too far off either.
Yeah. So it was fun. And when I was playing in the lounges and so forth in the 70s and early 80s, that's what people wanted to hear was the 60s type things and some of the 70s. So that was a thing. Billy Joel was becoming a thing at that time.
Yeah,
you know?
Billy Joel, awesome.
Yeah.
And who's Billy Joel?
I don't know. I've never heard of him, but see, people keep saying his name, so I just figure he must be
We should call
something.
Aldrin and get an example. You know, he does a pretty
Oh,
good
he
Billy
does.
Joel,
Yeah, Aldrin. For someone so young, Aldrin's 26.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've met
You've met
him
him.
once or twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
talented kid.
Yeah.
Very talented kid. Yeah, he can play Billy Joel like Billy Joel.
Yeah.
You know, he's really
And
good.
I hate love him.
Yeah,
You know, it's one of those things. I'm like, you're so talented. I hate you for that. But he's so good because you can literally put him on a spot in front of strangers and he'd be like, sure, and just rip it out.
just do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
and
that's
I
awesome.
absolutely love it. He is made of music, this kid. I grew up with the Rat Pack. I come from a Chicago Italian family.
Yeah.
And if you know, it was all that solid music, big band song music. And my father was a secret blues lover, but he could never admit it to the rest of the family because of the style of Rat Pack. And he introduced me to Muddy Waters.
Oh yeah.
And to stuff like that. So I became a big in the blues.
Oh, cool.
I listen, I love the Rat Pack. It's good music. But it's like tequila. If you've had too much of it, you just don't want any more of it.
If the vibe is right, like all the way. But
yeah. Once in a while, I'll hear like a Fly Me to the Moon.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, I just did a wedding I just had over the weekend. It was a very Italian wedding, and they did want a lot.
Oh.
They were like, "We got to get
more D."
Yeah, exactly. They're like, that's a more. I think the last song of the night we did, it was My Way, and they were all just like at their arms around each other, and we're just belting it out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah, it's still in the blood. You know, I think it's just no matter what generation it is, if you come from that style of family,
It'll always be there.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Hey Nick, could we pull up if somebody wanted to get a hold of Felix and Fingers or learn more about the dueling pianos? Where would they go to? Right there. There we go.
look at that. Look at that website.
FelixandFingers.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Mike is in there somewhere.
I'm definitely in there. It's like, yeah, if you
Hey,
like,
listen, folks. To make it easy on you, take out your old pocket computer there, turn on the camera, hit that QR code right there to bring you right there. Feel free to email them. You can call them. You even have the old live chat through AI.
we do. We got it all. You can ask questions, and and you just reach out, and one of us will get in touch with you.
Get an instant quote. Love that one.
Oh yeah. That's a new thing we kind of rolled out in the last few months.
I love that.
Where you can get kind of like some general pricing, like a ballpark type thing, and then we'll set up a phone call with you or something,
Sure,
kind of go
that's
through the
smart.
specifics. And
People are looking for answers right
yeah,
now.
exactly.
Right?
And just even
So,
to see if it's in the
absolutely.
ballpark, if they have some,
Wow, you weren't joking. You are all over the U.S.
Oh, all over the
and then
place.
some. So
yeah, we have full-time sales team, sales reps, and let me see if I can list them off here. We got Chicago, of course, Madison, Wisconsin, Kansas City, Minneapolis. We're starting a guy in Pennsylvania right now. We have New Jersey, New York, Boston, Los Angeles, Austin, Dallas, Florida, DC. I'm sure I'm missing one or two, but like this, and 5 years ago there was two or three of us doing this, and now it's like this is we're adding new salespeople kind of all the
great
time.
growth,
Yeah,
man. I love it.
In fact, one of my favorite salespeople of Felix and Fingers is also one of my favorite Carole King tribute artists.
Yeah, Tina.
Napinelli. Yeah.
Yeah, but we talk daily.
I bet you do.
Oh yeah. We have do you use Voxer at all? Is that an app that Potts has encouraged you to use? Are you aware of this?
Voxer. Right?
Voxer, yeah.
Voxer. No, I have not yet. So
It's a cool little. It's a little
tell me
walkie-talkie.
about
I'm going to do a
Tell
little
us.
demo here.
Okay.
Here, we'll send a message to Tina. Let's see.
So it's a two-way radio.
Yeah, basically it is, but it's like, yeah, it's you just send, and as soon as I start talking, they start hearing it. But like, this is how we communicate. Like, we live in an office. Let's see. Hey Tina, I'm on a podcast right now and just demonstrating how Voxer works. So I hope you're having a great day. And if she's not busy, she'll hear that right now in real time. But that's like, yeah, it's like cool because even though we're across the country, it's like we have different ways of communicating. Like we have a Discord channel where we're talking about big picture stuff. Of course, we'll email and we do all this stuff. But Voxer to me is like it's like I imagine we're all just in an office and I'm like shouting over there, like, hey, what's the blah blah blah? And someone just answers, That's to me what Voxer is. So it's like,
well, I think we could use that app there, Drew. What do you think?
I'm getting it as we speak.
Are you?
It's very. We've been using it for probably.
When I got to wake up my producer, that might be kind of helpful.
Oh, I'm going to put that in Aldrin's lap too. Then that would. So the big question on Voxer or Foxer?
Voxer with a V.
With a V.
And you Vox each other.
Can you block people?
I'm sure you can. I don't think I've ever needed to, but you can.
But you can. Okay. So if I don't want to talk to Drew, I could just block.
Yeah, or at least you can mute it. You can mute the channel for a while. If you
to your house,
need a little break.
That's true.
It's like I'll find you.
I'll be in your kitchen making breakfast when you come down.
So the blocking worked.
Yeah, there we
got
go.
Breakfast coming, and
got it. Perfect.
It's working out just fine. Well, this has been fun. Yeah. Is there anything else that we should know about Mike Sherman that we didn't cover?
I don't know. I mean, so we talked about a lot of it. It's like, I guess.
Well, you know what would be kind of cool? And
What's
I'll
cool?
put him on the spot about it right now.
Yeah.
But we have a keyboard right there.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
We could.
It's as easy as me using the magic touch on a pause button and putting that thing on the table. If you want to take us out with a song,
Sure, we can do that.
And you know what? This is cool because makes it kind of a crossover. I don't know if you're aware of our other podcast that we do, Two Majors and a Minor.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm not.
You're not? Okay. Well, it's basically two majors and a minor. I was a minor league ballpark organist.
Okay.
And then John Benedict and Josh Langoff.
Okay. Yep.
The two Cubs organists. So we do a podcast.
Oh, I'm surprised I haven't ever seen that pop up on my feed.
I am too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of John's content. I see a lot of your content.
Yeah.
Just the two together have never hit my page.
Well, it's fairly new. We've done maybe a dozen shows?
maybe half, a little less than that.
Less than that, yeah.
Pretty new.
But we had Alex Cohen on last week, and great show last week. But we always do the seventh inning stretch, and we rotate who does it, but who's ever the guest has to sing the seventh inning
Yeah,
stretch.
of course.
So we bring the keyboard on and turn it into an organ and do that. So we're going to kind of similarly do that now.
Yep.
And you can do this. Let's see, what would be a good thing to do?
Yeah.
Your most famous act that you do during a show. Your most famous bit that you do.
My most famous bit that I do with a
Yeah.
keyboard. Okay. I'm sure I can. I'm still even sitting here looking like I have an idea. I don't, but we'll
we
wing
can
it.
give you a
It'll be great.
minute to think about it because we would like to hear from our wonderful sponsors while we're setting up. How about that?
Yeah, we can do that.
We can do that. Let's do that.
All right, podcasters, let's be honest for a second. If your show sounds like it was recorded inside of a tin can, in your cousin's basement, in a van down by the river with your dog barking in the background, it's time for an upgrade. That's where 216 Creator Studios comes in, the home of real production, real people who actually know what all those shiny buttons do. They've got pro mics, top-tier editing, and lighting that makes everyone look like they slept 8 hours, even if you didn't. Whether you're just starting out or you've been podcasting since people were still saying, smash that like button, give me a thumbs up. 216 Creator Studio helps you sound crisp, confident, and ready for the big leagues. So stop recording in your car, stop arguing with your USB mic, and get into 216 Creator Studios, where your podcast finally sounds as good as you think it does.
Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Sherman.
All right, so I guess we're gonna sing a little song here, playing on this adorable keyboard. I feel like I actually had this exact same one. I feel like when I was a kid.
That's
true.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's that old.
All right, so I figure maybe we're just talking Billy Joel. Let's do a little Billy Joel. This is a bit that I do during my shows. You'll see behind the scenes. It is a a fully planned out bit, though this is the bit that we do with this song. And this is probably one of my favorite Billy Joel songs. I'll just tell you, it's We Didn't Start the Fire. I love this song, and I think it's funny to me that Billy Joel, I don't know if you've heard this or anyone, he actually does not like this song because he usually says he would write the music first and then fill in the words. This was the one song he wrote the words first and then filled in the music, and he just makes fun of himself. He's like, this is the melody. Da 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 da. And he's like, that's the least interesting thing I've ever written, but it's a lot of fun, so we're gonna do it. So you'll see where the bit is going as we start here. All right, so here's We Didn't Start the Fire. Monroe. Rosenberg, H-Bomb, Sugar Ray, Pamela, John Brando, the King and I, and the Catcher in the Rye. Eisenhower vaccine, England's got a new queen. Ponziana, Liberace, Santana, goodbye. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning till the world's been turning. We didn't start the fire. No, we didn't light it, but we tried to fight it. Now this song is great. You know, a lot of people know this song. If I could give it some feedback, it's a little boring. You know, it's a little slow, right? So let's maybe just like kick it up a little bit and just see where it goes. Joseph Stalin, Malcolm, that's a river, Caviano, Rockefeller, Campanella, Communist Bloc, Roy Cotton, Walker, Tuscanini, Dacron, damn it, falls a rock around the clock. Einstein, James Dean, Brooklyn's got a winning team, Davy Crockett, Peter Pan, Elvis Presley, Disneyland, Fargo, Budapest, Alabama, Cruise Ship, Regis, Greece, Peter's Place, trouble in the secrets. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning as if the world had turned it. We didn't start the fire. No, we didn't light it, but we tried to fight it. Little Rock, President, Mickey Manor, Camelback, Sputnik, Chevrolet, Bridge on the River Kwai, Living down Chester, Call, California, Police, but Truck, when I have a son, children of the matter, but oh, Bonnie Alley, Baker, her space, Monkey, Mafia, Hulu, Castro, Angelizano, U2, Simon, Hale and Kennedy, Chucky, Check a Psycho, Belgium in the castle. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning till the world would turn it. We didn't start the fire. No, we didn't light it, but we tried to fight. All right, one more verse, one more verse. A little faster, a little faster. Control, Ho Chi Minh, Virginia, sit back again, Moonshot, Woodstock, Watergate, punk rock, big ring of Palestine, terror of the airlines, Ayatollahs, never ran, Russians, Afghanistan, big old folks, Italian, bad, heavy metal, suicide, horror, dance, troubles, fancy, each great queen, having troubles, any songs, any songs, any songs, rock and roll, color wars, I can't take it anymore. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning till the world would turn it. We didn't start the fire. We didn't light it, but we tried to fight it. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning till the world would turn it. We didn't start the fire. But we are gone with the children on and on and on and on and on and on.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Until next time, folks. We'll see you then.